Facebook Camisa, joined by David Ayres. You, of course, know the name. He filled in for the Carolina Hurricanes against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and, of course, a legend was born in Toronto that day. Firstly, David, let me be maybe the 1 millionth person to congratulate you on that moment in itself with the Hurricanes against the Leafs, but also commend you for what it is you are doing. First and foremost, before we get into anything, how are you and the family doing through all of this?
Yeah, thank you. And I'm great. We're doing all right. We're, I guess, like everyone else, trying to find something to do around the house, right? Get out for a quick walk here and there and maybe a workout, but a lot of Netflix binging for sure.
Well, it's not just that. You're teaming up with the Kidney Foundation of Canada to launch an emergency fund during this COVID-19 pandemic. Tell us a little bit about that and what it is you're trying to do.
Right. The Kidney Foundation approached me and asked me if I would join, and I was all ears, and I was fully committed into helping out. Obviously, me having a kidney transplant almost 16 years ago, just trying to raise awareness on how important it is to donate, money, or even sign your donor card, or even just, make a phone call to someone that you know that has kidney disease and just kind of put a smile on their face. It goes a long way.
There's a little bit of symmetry between your procedure and, like you said, 16 years ago and where the world is kind of today, because you had yours during the SARS outbreak as well, which makes this a little bit more, personal for you, because you're understanding what people dealing with things other than COVID-19 may be going through. Is that part of the reason you decided this was the time to launch something like this?
Right. And like you said, I went through with SARS, and you didn't know who was in the room when I was in ICU for a couple of weeks. I didn't know who was coming into the room. They were dressed head to toe, and all you could see was different people's eyes, and it was tough, right? You didn't really have anyone to talk to. They couldn't sit in your room and stand there and have a conversation with you. They were in and they were out. So I know how important it is to have someone that can kind of reach out to you in any kind of way, and just kind of help anyone with kidney disease, or even post-transplant for that matter.
So what is it, that you're trying to do with the money raised?
Well, there's a lot of families that are having troubles getting back and forth through dialysis appointments and all their doctor's appointments, and a lot of them have lost their jobs. And I was lucky enough that I kind of kept working a little bit when I had mine, but people don't have jobs now, and they are, they're in need of money. So anyone donates $1 here and there, it kind of adds up, and you can definitely help the family out for sure.
What about the mental part of this as well? Because you mentioned, being in that room, not knowing who's coming in and out, not being able to communicate with others. What's your message to those maybe going through stuff right now that may find it difficult to motivate themselves to push just a little bit harder?
Yeah, that was the hard part. You're sitting there and you kind of get a little depressed, to be honest. It's not easy. So you just have to fight through. The nurses and the doctors are great. I had mine at St. Mike's, and my treatment was in Oshawa, and they were fantastic. They're always there for you, just because they can't sit and have a long conversation with you in the hospital at this point. There's a phone you can grab, and someone will give you a call. So just kind of stay strong and look at the future, and really fight for what you want, and have a goal in mind, and just know that after you're done your transplant, you can pretty much have a normal life.
Is there a goal, speaking of that you guys are hoping to try to achieve right now, and where can people contribute to this fund?
Yeah, the Kidney Foundation has their website, the Kidney Foundation, and you can go there and you can donate. I think you'll see a picture of me and my goalie equipment on the front page. Yeah. So you can go there, and they're just trying to gather, obviously, as much money as possible. I don't think there's an actual limit that they're looking for. They're just trying to help out as many families as possible. Right now, obviously, the requests are kind of really escalated. But they're trying their best to get everything done. It's not just the money. They have programs to have people come to you and help you out getting transportation back and forth to appointments and stuff like that as well.
There's something to be said as well about using the platform you have. I remember the day that you played against the Leafs, I was actually at a fundraiser for sick kids, which is near and dear to my heart. Why is it so important for you to use the profile you have now to not try, but do some good here?
Yeah, I think, I've said it before, a lot of people can play hockey, and, in Canada, me growing up, I had an older brother and my dad, and they all played hockey. So it wasn't necessarily the hockey portion that's different from other people, is the fact that I had the transplant, and people can realize that, just because you have to go through something like this doesn't mean that you can't achieve your goals down the road and even further than what you actually think you're going to achieve. So I just want to be able to let people know that just because you're going through this, whether it's kidney or any other kind of organ, you'll be able to get back to some kind of life that you're looking for.
Since you mentioned it, what is a show that you're binging on Netflix through all of this?
Obviously I did the same thing everybody has and watched the Tiger King.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Waco, and then I also watched Last Dance, which was a really good show. I can't wait for the rest of that one to come out.
Yeah, that's something that'll keep us occupied for the next month or so with the way they're scheduling that. Well, listen, I won't bother you to be the emergency player in my NHL 20 tournament. It's not going very well for me, but that's okay. I'm losing anyways. But I do want to congratulate you and commend you for the work that you're doing. It's admirable, and it's going to go a long way to help a lot of people. So, David, congratulations, and thank you for all that, and continue to stay safe, man.
Awesome. Thank you.